Yeah.
see you. I'll try and come see you again as soon as I can, okay?
Okay. Do you have any idea when?
No. I'm at home right now, okay? I will have my keys back tomorrow morning so I can get in and out of my apartment. If you'd like, I could come see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I still don't know if I'm working or not, but I might not.
Okay. So I saw that you messaged Michelle on Facebook. Can you message me on Facebook? That might be, if I can't text, that would be an easier way for us to talk. What do you think?
Yeah, I could.
Or maybe even OkCupid. We could do OkCupid.
Yeah, that'd work.
Okay, let's do
I just
OkCupid.
didn't know how to get a hold of her, and I didn't, like, when I didn't have my phone, so.
Yeah, no, that worked great. That was a good idea. Yeah, so just text me on OkCupid what your schedule is, okay? And what you're doing.
Okay. Are you gonna be up a little bit longer, or are you going to bed?
I'm going to bed soon. I'm really tired.
Okay. You get rest. I can just message
you too, okay?
later. I'll try.
You message me on OkCupid as much as you want, okay? It would be amazing. You know what? I would love waking up to an essay.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Only if you want to, okay?
No, I'm just really tired, but I didn't eat for a long time, so.
Yeah. Well, I want you to try and eat for me too if you haven't yet, okay?
I
Even
did a
just a
little
cracker.
bit. No, I did a little bit because it had been 3 days and I was kind of wobbly.
Yeah. I can imagine. Okay, that's good. All right, buddy. You take care of yourself, okay? I'll come see you as soon as I can.
Okay. We might have to be on the porch, but
I don't care.
Like to see
I want to see you no matter what. Even if I have to be on the porch, I don't care.
Okay.
That doesn't matter to me, okay?
I'm glad. I was worried.
No, I mean, as long as I get to see you, I don't care where it is.
You get to see me.
Yeah? That's all I want. All I want is to see you.
Okay. Well, get rest, please.
You too, okay?
Okay.
Alright. Sweet dreams, bunny. My kitten.
You too.
Alright, bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night. What?
I'm just frustrated.
What's going on?
I just want to talk to her about it and stuff, and she doesn't let me.
About just having something to drink?
Yeah, and everything else. And she won't let me.
She won't let you talk about other things either?
I can't. We can go together, I guess.
I'm sorry she's not letting you talk. That's frustrating. You can talk to me about anything. I know it might not be the same.
I just want to have fun. I don't think she realizes, like, unless she's going through it out right now, what it's like. And I'm trying to be there for her. not even close to what I'm going through. Not like my triple truth. Like, if this goes south, she loses me, but like, she gets to continue living.
What do you mean if this goes south? I thought they stopped following you.
They did, but like, they're not finding her. They're gonna get desperate. And what happens if they come back to me? Like, these are not like small things, you know?
Yeah.
If you look at the charges for these things, like, I will be in prison for life. And she doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
I just want understanding. And I get it from you, and I love it. And she tells me to not mention it ever again.
What can I do?
Calls me like nothing expected.
What?
He calls me that's more than expected.
I wasn't by my phone. I was downstairs doing some stuff, and I came back and I saw your messages, and I wanted to make sure you were okay. Like, I mean, I know you're not okay, but
Okay.
I had to call you.
I really appreciate it.
I care about you a lot.
I know.
I'm sorry she's being frustrating.
Yeah. I do really appreciate you calling.
Yeah, like you can text me if you want. It's kind of hard to hear you. You're a little bit muffled, but if you want to text, like you can text me.
I will.
I'll be here.
I love you, bud.
Love you.
Bye, baby.
Bye.
Oh.
Alright, that was about 4 o'clock. It must have started a little bit before 4. It looks like Brent had a series of texts that I was sent, and it sounds like he mentioned drinking to his wife, and Michelle did not like that. She told him never to mention it again. He said he wanted to share his feelings with her, but she wouldn't let him. So I will go ahead and get a copy of the text over and just send all this in an email. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off for now. Oh, and it is... I just want to get a date on here. It's Friday, June 23rd. So that'll be on here. I'm assuming that'll just kind of stay on here because I don't think I'm going to see Brent till after the weekend. But I'll just keep this on here. That way it's there.
And I'm kind of done experimenting.
Yeah, this is my favorite one. The coconut almond one is like, it's creamier, and especially if you put a little bit of coffee in it, and it makes it taste kind of like a frappuccino. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, that
smells
I
good.
can do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yummy.
I mean, you can make protein powder taste really good if you want to. I just drink it with water though, just because.
I don't know if I'd be able, like, I
I
have,
just chug it.
see, if this is like all I'm eating some days, I have to
Yeah.
kind of find ways to make it palatable.
If I want to make it taste good, I will do milk, chocolate protein powder, and a banana. It tastes really good.
Yeah, it's banana. But it's okay. The last, I mean, As long as I don't gain weight, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try and lose weight again. I took a break from controlling my diet for the past couple of weeks for stress, but I'm a little sick of it. Once something
How's your stress?
fine.
Question mark?
Yeah.
I heard a kind of a bit of a
There was a
question mark
question
in
mark.
that.
So it's kind of like a roller coaster. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not. It's been fine all day today except for about an hour recently.
What happened?
To read an article. Keep in mind, they've had my car for 2 weeks, right? They seized it Wednesday night 2 weeks ago. So, and they finally told everyone about it. So Michelle saw the article first, like 10 minutes after it was posted, and she starts frantically texting me because she thought that something might have happened to me, that they would release information like that. So I had a little, yeah, it's like an hour of like, what are they going to do now?
Wait, we have developed several additional leads?
I have no idea what that means.
That's weird. Why would they release that, like...
So, well, so they kept the info because they didn't want the real culprits to know of their progress in the case. Like, for instance, they knew it had nothing to do with me, at least I assume they do by now. But they didn't want the real person to know that because that gives that person security. They don't want, you know, do you get it? I'm not explaining it well.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what you're meaning.
Okay,
So they don't want the real person to know
that the Saturn Astra was unrelated.
They wanted to think that they were
Still following that instead
following the car.
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with what actually happened, right? So it was like a false lead, and they didn't want to reveal that information to give the real culprit some security to make.
Yeah,
to
that makes sense.
I don't know why I'm not explaining this well, but yeah, you get it. They just didn't want him to know that they knew that it had nothing to do with it. And I mean, I think they released it to the public now first because they're tired of getting like stuff about it. I mean, it's been 2 weeks. They knew it had nothing to do with the car, and I'm sure they're getting a lot of like tips and stuff, and they're annoyed at it because it has nothing to do with anything. And also, another thing I've been thinking of for a while is like, right away not telling anyone about the car not having anything to do with it was a good idea. That's very valuable, but every day that passed, it became less useful for them. Just because it's like, it's been 2 weeks, It's like, what use is not telling people about it doing anymore? So I think they're just kind of done with it. I'm hoping it means they actually have other things to go on, but this is where my information ends. We have been trying really hard to get updates on our stuff, but they're kind of not telling us anything. Michelle thinks they're trying to turn us against one another.
You guys? Have they been talking to her?
She has like what you could call a contact in the FBI now that's been kind of answering questions. So, for instance, they told us that they would have her computer back to her by last Friday because her computer has nothing to do with anything. Like, I never use it.
Yeah.
Then it didn't, and then today they messaged her back a lot of stuff. I'm not able to provide a definitive timeline or anything. So it's like, we don't know what they're doing with their stuff. And Michelle said this, which is definitely true. Yeah, it's bullshit. Steph is a cousin of Michelle's that's a lawyer.
Why would they try and
Um,
make you guys not okay?
just um, marital bond is strong, and some wives might feel like they have a need and a duty to protect their husband, something like that. So if I told her anything, she might be more inclined to tell them about it. Something like that.
That makes no sense to me. I guess I'm just weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes sense to me, but it's not going to work because, as she said, you could just copy the hard drives. There's nothing else there.
Yeah.
Like, that's easy to do and doesn't. We don't actually have that much data either. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a pittance to them. So they're just keeping it because, and they also have my phone and my fucking camera. We have a camera, a digital camera that we like never use. Like, why the hell do they still have that? They still have the police. I've been trying to get an itemized list from the police of the stuff they took, because the FBI and police took different things. And the stuff the police took isn't that important, but they still have my goddamn shoes. Like, why do they still have those? It's been 2 weeks. Like, they can take pictures of my shoes. They know what brand they are. I don't care. Like, they can make a mold of shoes in like 2 seconds, I'm guessing. Like, silly putty even. Who cares? Like, just take a picture of it. Like,
That's awkward.
give me my fucking shoes back. It's so annoying.
Yeah, that's...
Like, I called him yesterday, left a message, called him today, left another message with the actual lieutenant that oversaw the warrant. Hasn't gotten back to me. I'm going to call him every single day. Because I'm annoyed, because they have my shoes.
You're like, they have my shoes.
It's like, what the fuck, you know? Like, I get why they want them in the first place, but like, they still have them.
Yeah,
The rest of the stuff they took I don't really care about. It's like my university building keys, which I need to return to the university because I'm no longer affiliated, that kind of stuff, but it's just like,
yeah.
I don't know, it's...
Sorry about that.
It's fun.
It's just kind of awkward.
It's fun. So what would you like to do? You may want to go for a walk and do that soon?
Yeah, I would like that. I just... So they still have your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's upsetting.
And annoying.
Yeah.
Michelle says we'll get a civil lawyer on Friday if they don't get it back to us by then.
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
What's a civil lawyer?
I don't really know.
Because I don't either. I have no clue about any of that stuff.
I don't either.
I haven't talked to you since you texted me about random things either. Like, I'm curious about that because...
It's a civil lawyer. Oh my god, just tell me what it is. Okay. Nope. Okay, what's civil law? They practice civil law, I assume. Non-criminal law, rights and duties. Ah, okay, that makes sense.
So basically, as a civilian, you have rights and...
Yeah. And Steph, Michelle's cousin, again, is a lawyer, and she says it's been a reasonable amount of time for them to get our shit back to us.
Yeah.
And I agree, because, yeah, they can literally copy our hard drives. It's, between the two of us, we probably have, like, our full hard drives, probably like 2.5, 3 terabytes, which is not that much. And they're not even used, by the way. It would take, like, a decent computer with enough storage would take, let's say, 3 to 4 hours to copy everything, like literal copy paste. With the FBI technology, it would take that long, and that would get them carbon copies of our shit. And I don't care. There's nothing on there.
I just, like... I don't know why they would keep all that shit.
I think Michelle's right. I think they're trying to do that to us.
Turn your rib against each other.
It makes sense. Like, well, I mean, just kind of think about where they are right now, right? Like, this girl goes missing in broad daylight. I'm the last person to see it. They come with a search warrant for our car Wednesday night. They bring me in to talk, and they arrest me and keep me in jail for 24 hours while they get a search warrant for our apartments completed. They come to our apartment and take our shit. They don't find a goddamn thing. I assume. It's been 2 weeks, you know, like, I was most definitely their prime suspect for a while, right? They were following me around for like a week straight. They hit me in jail. They didn't find a goddamn thing. I think it's a pretty safe assumption now that they don't really have anything.
When you said that you picked her up, but you told them
Yeah, I even took them out, maybe a week ago. It was after
so
I
they
was...
what do they know then with as far as they knew where you picked her up,
Yeah, they have that on camera, right?
and then like
They know it. Okay, so the issue is, I was in a horrible mood that day. That's why I was driving around in the first place. I sometimes drive to clear my head, and I've been driving for a while. I can explain that a bit more later. But like, yeah, like, she looked like she needed help, so I just...
so was she like upset?
Yeah.
Was she crying?
No, but she looked like she just looked really distressed and stressed out and panicky. So
I'm just trying to figure out what would clue you into that, because I don't know if and I'm not judging, it's more like I'm just trying to figure out what would make me, if I was driving, stop over and be like, do you need help with something? Because that's, most people would be freaked out.
I normally wouldn't do something like that. But again, I was in a really strange mood, and, you know, I was bored. So I just kind of decided to do it. And, you know, I was right. She actually did. She was late for some meeting. She told me she was meeting her professor. Apparently she was going to like a lease signing or something, and she was late for it. It was important to her. And she was late. She sent texts to the people and stuff. So yeah, I was right about it. So I just started driving. I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. She got more and more frantic in the car. And, you know, at this point...
Where did she say she needed to go?
She quickly showed me on her phone. It was north. That's all I really knew. The issue is she spoke very broken English, and I could hardly understand her. So, you know, I didn't want to, like, grab the phone or anything like that either.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, like, let her direct me. And I took a wrong turn somewhere. I thought she said left or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. It's not even that important anymore. And she got more and more frantic. She didn't know what was going on. And, you know, I really wasn't paying attention to exactly where I was. I was more concerned with the crazy girl in my car. Who the hell did I pick up? And after a little bit, like, you know, she tried to open the door, but the door's on the Saturn auto lock, so she couldn't. So I stopped, unlocked it. She got out. I don't remember what it was. I have a general area, residential area. I took the FBI out to that area voluntarily. I showed up at their office. I was the one who initiated it. And yeah, I tried to tell them general area. Yeah, that's what happened. And I mean, from their perspective, like, you know, I was the last person to start. I was the prime suspect for a while, for sure. And I mean, they're probably really annoyed and pissed that it wasn't easy, because, you know, it would have been easy if it was me. So yeah, I'm not quite sure why they still have my stuff. Maybe they're, I don't know, but
I just like,
I'm sure in the back of their minds they're still hoping it's me because that's easy for them.
well, yeah, of course, but I don't understand, like, that's really weird that
It's political.
it's just weird that they, like, I mean, obviously you dropped her off. Like, I mean, after you dropped her off, what did you even do? Like,
I went home.
you went home?
I went home.
I'm sure you were weirded out.
Yeah.
Like, crazy chick. I
was weirded out, but like, I only remember bits and pieces from that day.
Was that one of the days that you had alcohol, or like, why did you, or you just don't remember?
I bought some, but I didn't. I drank like 2 shots and that's it, and I decided to not get drunk because I didn't want to. Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, it would have been better for me to do that because, you know, then that's what happened. But yeah, it's yeah, I was just in a horrible mood, wanted to clear my head, didn't want to be in the problems. It was one of the days that I was alone. Michelle was on her little road trip. Yeah, I just wanted to clear my head, so I was driving away. And yeah, I just drove all over the place. I think I even went past this place once, just because.
Did you call me or text me?
No, I was just kind of driving. You were busy.
I don't think I was.
Yeah, you were.
Not until that evening, like way later in the evening.
No, I didn't know that. But that's fine. Don't think anything of it.
I just want you to be okay. Like, I want your life to go on.
At this point,
there's so much that, like, I feel like it's not that I require to know things. It's just that, like, there's so much that I don't really know, and like, I mean, what you texted me was pretty much the most that I ever knew, and about any of what's going on. Like, I know.
Well, now you know pretty much everything.
Like, I'm glad that they must not know much about the poly thing, because they have, like, if they knew much about the nature of us, I wonder if they'd be trying to turn me against you. Like, that would be, I don't even know how I'd handle that. But she's your wife, and like, that's like, that's who they see as attached to you, and they just kind of like, oh, well, he was probably having just a fling with this.
Probably.
And it doesn't help that, like, they took my phone and they see me with all these people on my phone. Like, I'm sure they're just like, oh, she's just this, like, naughty little, hey. So I'm wondering if they just think I'm just some naughty little minx that happened to
maybe
be a, I don't know. Which is fine. Like, they can totally think that. Like, I mean, that's fine. As long as it gets them, like, not in my business. I don't want them snooping around. Like,
I'm going to recommend to you, now that you know more, the same thing that the lawyers recommended to me, and the thing that Michelle definitely is on board with now too. Nothing you can tell them is actually going to help me, or you, or Michelle. I gave them all the information I can possibly give them that will help them find her. Literally everything else is not going to help clear me. They're trying to implicate me. The lawyers told me that they could be lying to me about everything. Like,
the FBI?
Yeah, for sure. No reason not to.
That's messed up.
I mean, they've been telling us they'd get our stuff back this entire time. Michelle get her computer back by Friday. They give her a date. They told her Friday. And it's not even close to done now, I'm guessing. They're going to hold on to it for as long as possible. And it's like, yeah, like they told us they were going to get the GPS in our car and that kind of shit. Like, we didn't even know our car had GPS. I don't even know what kind of GPS is in the car, if any, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, so my stance and Michelle's stance is now not to talk to him anymore without a lawyer and assume what they're telling us is a lie.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a good idea.
That's where
they've not really, like, I really don't think that I'm even on their radar anymore.
I don't think so either.
Which is fine. I don't want to be. I just...
Yeah, I don't think you are either. Yeah.
I'm just a plain random person. Like, I mean, obviously when the whole thing started, I'm sure they had to just be like, hey, we need to, like, I think they took my phone. That's about it.
Yeah.
So.
Did you just let them do that, or did they have a warrant? I'm just curious. I don't think it really matters. Again, like, who cares?
No, I don't think they did. I mean, I let them fingerprint me, and I let them have my phone. I mean, I just didn't want to fight with anybody. Like,
yeah, that's
you know
understandable.
me. I'm just like, I have no clue what's going on.
No, I completely understand why you wouldn't want to, and that's okay.
And I figured if anything, it would just prove. I mean, there's nothing incriminating online. The only thing on my phone that's possibly incriminating for anyone is just my reputation, which I really don't care. Like,
yeah, no, don't worry about it.
I
yeah, again, it's been over 2 weeks now. Like, if they would have found anything, again, I was a prime suspect for a while, for sure. They jailed me in order to get to my apartment without me being in there, right? Like, they were like, I'm assuming they were like 99.9% sure it was me at that point. And they didn't find jack shit. Because there's nothing to find it.
yeah.
But, yeah, at this point, like, maybe they think I'm some sort of criminal mastermind or whatever, who knows?
Yeah,
Who somehow leaves incriminating evidence on my goddamn computer of all things. I know about computers. Like, yeah, okay.
I wish there was a camera that like showed like you guys talking. Like I know just from like the news stuff they were like it said that you talked for a while. I don't know exactly what you talked about, but
yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't anything really. I remember like the general flow of the conversation. I stopped, asked her if she was okay, asked her if she was alright, asked her name, didn't understand it. Yeah, so I think I told you this before. I didn't even recognize her when they showed her the picture of me. I didn't remember her name because I didn't understand her. Like, all Chinese people.
what they showed you the picture of her?
Yeah, when she went missing, I didn't recognize her right away.
Well, the pictures that they had were terrible. Like I saw the later pictures, and like the later pictures, like she seems pretty cute.
Yeah,
the earlier ones, she doesn't seem very as cute.
Yeah,
but like the latest one, she seemed really pretty.
Yeah, it's just like I didn't recognize her. I honestly didn't. And it's like, yeah, just asked her if she was okay, all that kind of stuff. You know, I basically said, you know, I'm not really doing anything right now. Just kind of driving around. Do you want to ride? It's very weird, and you know, the moral of the story is to not help people.
Yeah.
Unless you like get a written signature from them there on camera.
Did the picture of her like that they had? Did it actually look like she looked like in real life, or was she? You don't even remember.
Unfortunately, this is also old now.
Yeah,
it happened over 2 weeks ago now. It's like.
I'm sorry, I didn't. And like, I'm just curious.
No,
like,
no,
I don't know
ask as many questions as you want. I don't mind answering them. It's just like.
It's just comforting to me to process a little bit, like, because I don't know what's going on, and like me, I just know that they're trying to mess with you, and like I don't. It's not that I want to know information for information.
Just keep in mind, like, this is confidential. They didn't tell me anything at all about what I could and couldn't do. They told Michelle that them having her car was classified. They didn't tell me a thing. So, as far as I'm concerned, I can say whatever the hell I want to anyone. If I really wanted to, I probably could have come out and just said it was my car, but they would have probably tried to charge me with obstruction of justice for that again. So I obviously didn't want to do that. And, you know, I understood why they wanted to keep it to themselves, so I didn't. Yeah. But, you know, there's only so much time I wanted to be the scapegoat for this. And I was getting a little annoyed because, you know, after 2 weeks you'd think it wouldn't help them that much, and they obviously agree because of their news release. But yeah. I'll tell Michelle I told you about this. Just, I haven't yet. I don't think she'll care. Just make sure you don't tell anyone anything.
No, I'm not saying anything to anybody.
Yeah,
like
literally no one.
No, you know any.
I know.
You know that nothing that you say to me can faze me. Like
yeah, I know. I know.
I mean, for all I care, you could be like, oh, by the way, like, I did XYZ, and
Yeah, I know. I know.
Especially because I've, not that I'm implicating you, but in my head, I've thought about, like, what, especially in the beginning, that there was that thing going on, like, what if something happened?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if, and in my head, I was like, don't think I'd I don't think I'd be able to change anything in my head. Like, the way I feel is in stone, and I know it sounds disgusting probably, but I have empathy for people and I care about people, but at the same time, like, I feel like I know you, and regardless of what you do or don't do, or what people think you do or don't do, like, for all I care, if I found out that you were involved in something where somebody got hurt, I would probably just be like, well, but do you still love me? Like,
Yeah, I do.
I call it Stockholm Syndrome, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm more loyal than I thought, maybe. Because I never, I don't know, when we were talking about the guinea pig in the car that one day, I was like, but it's separate. Like, I think I don't know, maybe I have an ability to isolate my emotions from,
Yeah.
maybe I'm kind of like you.
Speaking of that, no one knows about that other than you. So.
Yeah, well, that's not
Yeah.
gonna come out.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but anything you tell me, like, you told me not to tell anybody about that, so.
Yeah, it's pretty confidential at this point.
And that's fine. I'm.
Especially now.
Oh yeah, no, but. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see why I would even want to tell anybody about that, because then it just, on top of that, it makes me look bad, because, like,
That's true.
yeah, you knew that this person did this, and, like, in my head, I'm like, if I tell you something, can you not?
Yeah.
It's awful. So I looked up one time, like, the people that were close to, like, famous serial killer type people, like, because in my head I'm like, I wonder if they felt that same way I do, where it's just like, yeah, but, like, I love them. Like, I wonder if there's, like, a thing that
There's
a personality trait. Does it have a name?
Yeah.
I know it's weird. I feel like most people would freak out about even little
called.
stuff. Do you think I'm like that?
I do. I don't remember what it's called. It's a sort of it's a philia. It's something philia. It's there are people that get kind of obsessed with serial killers and want to, like, be with them, and they're attracted to them.
So there's literally, like, and you think I could be like that?
Maybe. Again, when Ted Bundy was on the stand, he married someone.
That's weird.
Yeah, and I mean, at that point, everyone knew he had killed like 30 women. And he got hundreds of love letters a day in prison.
And I've been trying to think about, like, whoever actually did this, like, if they can get away with it so easily, like, maybe you're right. Maybe it would be easy to. I mean, at this point, I don't know if you still have any type of fantasies about anything at all, or if it's all just been washed away by this whole thing. Like, but I don't know, in my head, I just make associations, and I'm just like, man, it must be kind of easy to do.
Maybe.
I guess I didn't believe you before.
About what?
That it, like you said that one time, that it would be so easy, that you could just get away. Like, you in the car, you said that. I don't know if you remember, because you were a little tipsy.
I remember.
And I didn't believe you. I just thought that you had an ego and
No.
like somebody's gotten away with it. Obviously, if they were chasing you.
Yeah.
Puts things in perspective a little bit.
Not only that, like, just think about who the victim is this time. It's an international student who was relatively successful. She was getting a PhD and stuff. Like, this is someone who had a clear place to be at a certain time, you know? Without that info, they probably wouldn't have even known where to start looking. Like, think about, like, someone who doesn't know as many people, didn't have definitive times, let's say some prostitute or something like that. I mean, wouldn't have even been a police report or news report or anything. And it's like, the only reason this ever got any attention is because of like specific details like that. Like, people reported her missing and she had a very specific time and she told people where she was and all that. It was very easy to trace her back. But if you remove those factors, which, you know, in a lot of situations you can, like, without a trace.
But there were those, so I don't. If there's traces, then shouldn't that mean that they find people?
Sometimes. I don't know. It's a little tough to think about.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No.
go into stuff.
It's interesting. Like, I have always found this kind of stuff interesting. Unfortunately, Michelle told them all of this. I really hate that.
Yeah, it's just really
It's very
hard.
personal.
Yeah, it is. I know. It's just hard for me because, like, I don't have anyone I can talk to about it, and, like, I know it's not happening to me, and I understand that,
It's just
like,
me and you. And Michelle, I guess, but not really.
yeah, I understand that, like, no, it's not happening to me, but I feel like, I don't know, like, I feel like it kind of is happening to me in a weird way. Like, it affects me. Like
what's happening to me? Or,
yeah.
Yeah, it affects you, for
Like,
sure. That's why we're here on the porch
I
instead in
can't
your room.
even have my own boyfriend in my room, like, and I can't talk to any about it. Like, I mean,
Let's take a walk.
even if I had a therapist, I wouldn't be able to just be like,
No, this is... You want this up here? Does it matter?
I'll just put it behind the cushion. Like, I can't just be like, yeah, I'm struggling because they didn't tell me either that I couldn't say anything, but I certainly don't feel like I could just, you know, so I can't, I mean,
At this point, it's clearly not in my ordinary Michelle's best interest.
yeah.
Like,
But, like, even like a therapist, like, I couldn't, like, it's not something that's available, and I feel like it's disruptive enough that you know, that would be a thing. I don't think I even have. Can I put this in your pocket? And make sure it's on so that if Daddy. Did I tell you that Peter got me bras? So there's like no room. There's no room for anything. Like, they're pretty perky now. Things actually fit them, and it's kind of nice, but I don't have as much room to put things now because they're all just, yeah. So I was getting upset because I was trying stuff on. It was really funny. He was like, why don't we just go and get you, like, he's like, if you're having trouble, like, with dresses, like, I think that dress would fit you, it's just that you're having trouble with undergarments. I'm like, I know, they're really expensive. Like, you know, I just spent a few $100s on myself for clothing, why don't we go and get you some bras? Like, okay. He's like, yeah, we can go, and we can get you some groceries too, like, that's cool, and they had a sale. He's like, why don't I just get you two, like, if you get one half off, why don't you go find another one? Okay. Thank you. And then he took me to this deal in Bloomington. That was really fancy.
Yeah, I didn't know that too. I've been to this deal here.
Yeah, it was really fancy, and I had a little bit of a power trip because I wore my like 6-inch heels,
Nice.
and people at the meet and greet, a couple people were like, have you been working out? I was like, yeah. And I was wearing like a naughty dress and heels. And I opened doors for Peter like multiple times. And I kind of just felt like this, like, he was almost like, okay, like, I can do this. Like, that's right, I'm opening the fucking door. Like,
I wouldn't like that if a woman opened the door for me.
no, I
No.
don't think you would.
No, I wouldn't.
But he ate it up. Like, you've met him. He's really chill. But it was super funny because it was definitely a power trip for me. I was just like, that's right. Like, I'm a big, strong woman. Like, I don't know. It's funny. And he mentioned that. He's like, yeah, it's kind of nice that I have this big, strong woman. We were walking, after we went to the restaurant, he wanted to walk somewhere. And these kids were playing frisbee in the parking lot, and it landed in front of us. And I went down, and I got the frisbee, and I threw it back to them. They're like, dang, she threw it better than y'all guys. And the kids were like, look, it was such a power trip. I felt so badass. I don't usually have an ego,
Yeah.
but I felt pretty fucking awesome. I was just like, this is great. I'm trying, like, stuff like that just makes me forget about everything that's going on. And it's kind of nice, but then I come back to it and I'm like, oh, I can't have you over. Like, my normal's gone.
I'd be able to forget about it if it was goddamn computer back. But seriously, though, that's my thing. I just want my fucking computer back. The computer I'm using is so shitty. It's so awful. The phone I'm using, like, I'll show you something. They also send texts.
Who sends texts?
Solicitors. Okay, so these are all the phone calls I got today.
Wow. Just today?
Yep.
What?
I sent one of the phone calls out, and one of the phone calls was sent to me that was actually useful. The rest of them, so I can't stop it. They're all for some guy named Daniel who read this phone number for me. It's just, I can't stop it. And like, I'm looking for jobs. I actually want, like, you know, the investigations to put me in back, so I have to answer all of them. So,
That's really frustrating.
yeah. Like, I just want my electronics back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't actually care that much about the car. I can't even drive it anyway. Like, some vigilante's gonna try and stop me because, you know, everyone's gonna know that.
I saw some posters when I was out today, and
Yeah, they're all over the car.
That's kind of scary.
It's really weird. It's surreal, you know? Like, because you just look at them and it's like, well, that poster's useless. Because it's like, the info isn't even correct.
Well, and
It's mine.
hopefully the press release will help a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure it will, but I mean, the unfortunate thing is not everyone's going to see it for obvious reasons, and those posters are going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
So,
It's also, I don't know.
I mean, when we get the car back, Michelle said, obviously I can't drive it, and I wasn't gonna. God, no, I couldn't. But we're also going to get dash cams everywhere just because, you know, some asshole vigilante is going to go up to the car.
Yeah.
So.
That's really stupid. And I know that apparently it's been on, like, national news.
Oh, yeah, it's internet. It's national news in China. It's been over there too. It's a stain on the university here.
I think it's a really big deal.
Mm-hmm. Wrong person.
Huh?
They picked up the wrong person.
Who picked up the wrong person?
This girl kidnapped. They kidnapped the wrong person.
What do you mean? How do you know? I don't understand.
No. The amount of news something like this gets, the amount of attention something like this gets, depends on who it is, right? Like, there's a big difference between, like, a 10-year-old being kidnapped and some, you know, 22-year-old straight out of prison. So.
Would that be something that you'd think about, like, if not Not that you would think about that.
Where do you want to go? There's that guy. Let's go down there.
Would that be something that an intelligent person would think about if they were wanting to do something like that?
Yeah, for sure. So, people, there have been people who picked their victims based on that. There was a guy, he's like a truck driver serial killer. This was actually kind of recent. And he just killed prostitutes, truck driver prostitutes at truck stops. And those kind of people aren't missed. John Wayne Gacy only killed prostitutes, boy prostitutes. Certain people aren't missed. This is actually like one of the reasons why Ted Bundy is so fascinating, is because he targeted like college women. And like he got away with it so many goddamn times, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Isn't he one of the people that he said he was doing a really good job until he like messed up or something?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember we were sitting in my room and drinking.
Yeah. He's easily the most interesting for like a bunch of different reasons. He was very, very smart. And very good at what he did. And what really surprised me about him is he just kind of disposed of the bodies just randomly. He didn't do anything with them. He just kind of left them in the woods. But the thing that implicated him in the end was a bite mark on one of his victims. And it was just there. And, I mean, just knowing about him and stuff, like, I'm always kind of surprised that he left that.
So he just got careless? Like, he just...
Yeah.
Over time?
Yeah, in one of his interviews, he said that, you know, right away he was really meticulous with everything. He thought of everything like 1,000 times, but after you do something 20, 30 times, it kind of becomes like a routine. Yeah. And you do stuff without even thinking about it. So he just got careless.
It's weird, like that he would do so much and he just got lazy, kind of.
Yeah, it's weird. He's a very strange person.
I don't know. I mean, I think about all of this and think about like the fact that we're having this conversation and it's not bothering me. Like, it's not even phasing me. It's just kind of like, well, I would feel like for instance, Michelle would freak out.
She doesn't anymore.
I understand that, and I don't have anything against her. It's just, I want to know why it doesn't bother me. Like, I want to know why. In fact, I'm kind of fascinated by it. Like,
I am too. It's interesting.
Like, what is it? Like, why? Why do I not care? Why?
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with me? Or...
I don't know. Maybe.
Like...
I wouldn't worry about it.
Interesting to me. Like, all of this is interesting to me. And
it's a deeping part of society. It's really extreme. It's...
Like, I guess part of me is like, I wonder if you know what, you clearly have like an interest in this in a weird little way, and I'm like, if he has an interest in it, like, maybe he would understand me having an interest in it. But then I'm like, is that even a thing? Like, you're the one that said you thought that maybe I would be someone that could like share on being in the edge with you.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm questioning that. Not that obviously you can't really be on the edge right now, but I'm starting to question, like, my very vehement, like, oh God, I can't be on the edge is mean and bad, and now I'm just like, but what's on the edge? Like, and I'm curious, and I'm kind of confused, and I have nowhere to process.
Yeah. Well, the number one thing that came from this for me is that I can't handle prison. That's my limit. So I don't want to figure out what my limits are. That's my limit. Being in prison would ruin me. Yeah. That might be my only limit. but it's my limit. I could not handle that. I legitimately couldn't handle it. Being in that jail cell and not knowing when I was going to get out, because at the time I had no idea. They didn't tell me anything.
Well,
I couldn't contact anyone.
because he was in for almost a year and he didn't do anything, and he's schizophrenic now. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens to me.
huh?
I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. Like, that's something again,
That's honestly that was the first place my mind went when I found out that they had taken you is he going to be okay? If they keep him, is he going to be okay? Or at very first, it was like, if he did it, is he going to be okay if he goes to jail? It wasn't, oh my gosh, there's somebody that he could have been hurt, or the girl, or anything like that. It was, what's going to happen to Brent, and is he going to be okay? And is he going to... God, because Big Cause was such an intelligent, and he's still intelligent, but his mind is so fucked up now, and it terrifies me that... And I would never want that to happen to him. That's what I care about.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think I'd be okay. I really don't. There are certain things I want in life, and I don't actually require that much, but prison would ruin me. Like, honestly, if I was under house arrest, couldn't see a goddamn person no matter what, just had my computer, couldn't even talk to anyone, just had like my video games and all that kind of stuff, my music, could browse the internet, YouTube, whatever, I'd be okay. I can't do that in prison, you know? Like, that's actually like all I require to keep my sanity and, access to a gym whenever I want. They have that there, but like, that's actually all I require. Be intensely lonely and not happy, but I would be okay. That's all I require. Like, I would take the same walk every time. Maybe we can get up and go somewhere else after.
Yeah, that would be...
Yeah, but that's... I wish we could talk a little more freely, but I'm still kind of paranoid they're listening to me. And like
How would they listen to you?
I don't know, like some weird bug in my belt or something.
It's weird. Well, it's something like...
It's going to take a while for that to go away.
If you want to talk about anything, know that I'm around. And if you're afraid of your apartment or my porch or whatever, like, whatever would make you comfortable, because I know you can't talk to Michelle about this even. Like, I'm happy to talk to you about whatever. Like, I want to be that person. I want you to have someone to share it with, because I know the feeling of wanting to share it with somebody, because that's how I feel, and I can only imagine that you feel that way too, to a much bigger degree.
The unfortunate thing about all of this is that there's one way, the number one way people get caught with any crime. You know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like this. They tell someone.
So you don't want to talk about things. Like, I don't think there's any way for you to get caught, so not for me. But I don't...
No, what I mean is that even if I did do it, I don't think I could say anything no matter what, because...
Ever?
No. Certainly not when they still have all my shit.
Yeah. I mean, what about if you get all your shit back? Like, I don't want this to sound terrible, but like, I feel like I'd want to know, even if I don't. It's not that I'd want to know because I'd want to do something with it. It's just that I'm interested in knowing all of you. Like, you've told me things, and I don't know.
Okay, so here's kind of the dilemma with all of this, right?
Yeah.
Hypothetical situation, let's say I told you something. If they come and talk to you, and you hide that info, that implicates you, okay? So
you just have to make sure that nobody would talk to you.
That would be a felony, okay? So it's following with that would be a felony. You would have committed a very, very serious crime. You'd be an accomplice. Now let's say they come to you and be like, if you confess and tell us everything, you can go free, no crime. But if you don't, you're going to jail for 30 years. That is not an unrealistic situation. You know, like that is, they would definitely do something like that, you know, and that is not, that kind of loyalty is impossible to trust in. I think you're very loyal to me, and I do think you love me, I love you, but that kind of situation is...
You don't think that I would be that loyal?
It's not that. People aren't rational when they're confronted with a decision like that. People don't know how they're going to react and respond. They can think they do, but they don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking down on you or anything like that. I'm really not, okay? It's because I believe everything you said. It's just, I care about you too much to ever try and put you in that kind of situation. That's... Do you have any thoughts or anything on that?
I just want to know that.
Yeah.
Like, and I know you said that it's not talking down on me. I just, in my head, especially as a submissive, like, in my head, it makes me feel like I'm not up to par. Like, and I'm not trying to make you feel like I'm upset. Like, I'm not upset. In my head, the way my head works is really fucked up, I guess.
I'll put it in a different way. I would trust you with something like this more than anyone else I've ever met. However, there's not a person on earth that I will ever meet that I could ever trust with something like this. Because I don't think that kind of loyalty exists.
How do you know unless someone can prove it to you? How do you know, though? Like,
well,
you can't know.
It's tough to put into words. Like, I know stuff like that's happened before. People sacrificing their own lives to help someone else. You know, sacrificing much more than the other person would have done.
You know how much I value my life, right?
Yeah.
Which is not.
But again, like, I'm not talking about you here, but people might say that they think something or will do something in a certain situation that they've never done it before, right? But in completely extreme situations, they don't really know how they're going to react, you know? Like, it's impossible to say until you're actually confronted with it. And by that point, it's too late to take it back. You know, there are so many things you can, examples you can use, right? Like, people always talk about, like, if you had a gun to someone's head and someone tells you if you shoot them you save this person, would you do it? I mean, it's one of those things, right? I'm kind of rambling now, I guess.
No, it's okay. I know how hungry I am for knowing things. It's just not like specific things, just like my mind is just,
Yeah.
I guess it's intense.
No, I understand.
Hi. It's okay.
No worries. Yeah, it's
I'm gonna walk.
yeah. I think it's time.
Yeah, there's like lots of people. I need you. Bucket.
Other pocket.
Whatever pocket works.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's so many situations you can like say you'll do something, but they're so extreme, and if you've never been in that situation, you have no idea how you would actually act. You know, like okay.
In my head, I think about the fact that like I value my life insofar as a commitment that I have to be alive. But if somebody were to release me of that, then it wouldn't be my choice. Like, it's not even a choice. It's just like, oh, somebody's releasing me from the burden of having to be alive. Like,
yeah. I mean, there are so many examples, you know, like, I mean, so many tough things you can think about like this that you don't know how you'd react. You can think you do. Like, would you kill yourself to save Tommy and me?
yes.
I believe that one. Would you? I mean, let's see. You can think of like so many like this, right? Would you kill Dave to save a loving couple that have no horrible traits that you don't know? It's like, I don't know.
I guess my thing is like,
Where do you want to go?
my life has no price. Whatever way. We can go this way. We've not been over there before.
Yeah, it's just
like my life has no value, so therefore, in the situation of you and Tommy, like
yeah,
it's like $0 versus $2. There's no like,
yeah,
there's no that and easy. Anything involving me would be easy. Anything involving another person, that would be, because that's all I value. There's like no value of self. That's why I'm so selfless. Like,
yeah.
I give until there's nothing left to give, and then I give some more. Like, I'll have literally $40 in my bank account and buy Big Paws a $30 pizza and whatever.
Yeah.
When I have no food, I've done it before.
Yeah.
I did it last month. I had hardly any. I think I had like $4 in my wallet or my purse. I don't have a wallet, but I had $4, and I was after I bought stuff at the farmer's market, and that's like all the money that I had, and until I get paid. And somebody was needing bus fare, and when I got to the bus station, and I gave them money. Like, obviously that's not comparable to a life, but
no,
I don't value stuff on my own. Like,
I understand.
I don't care about me. It's not comparable. I know it's silly. It's just
no. It's again, like, I would trust you with it more than anyone else I've ever met, but
there's a limit.
It's one of those things, like, it's just impossible to wrap your head around, because like, I'm not talking about you anymore, I'm talking about myself. Like, I can't personally wrap my head around it. So,
around what?
A situation like that, because, I mean, I am normal in this situation. I would totally self anyone out. There were ones who did it, you know? Like, I'm relatively innocent.
What if it was me? What if he found out
that you were just there?
What would happen?
See, it's tough to say. I'd probably tell him, like, I'm gonna go jump in 30 years.
Even if it was me? That's really surprising. Like,
really?
Yeah,
I mean, I would, honestly, I'd get a lawyer, is what I would actually do. But, if it was like, I think I would. Like, it's a self-preservation thing, you know? And again, people don't act rationally. They could be lying about everything.
I guess in my head I was hoping that you'd kind of be like, oh, I'm probably not that Not that.
Oh, I'm what? Oh, I'm property.
Oh, yeah. Like you wouldn't expect me, right?
No, I wouldn't. No, it's just it's just one of those things that, you know, like rational thought doesn't happen.
On my shoe. I'm sorry, that was really upsetting.
I just one of those things, and maybe I wouldn't. Obviously, I don't know what
But they
flowers.
smell good. Oh my god, they smell smell so good.
Do they?
They
I can
really
smell them
do.
over here.
They're really strong smelling. I don't know what they are, but they smell like heaven. I want some. The house is huge.
What's under the upper one?
Once with Peter, he said that he used to go there when he was high on DXM.
Why would you want to walk around on that?
Because I don't know.
I've been wanting to do that again, but I can't because,
It's scary.
well, I'm paranoid of them coming to arrest me when I'm on it.
Why would they be arresting you at this point?
Desperation. Trying to politics, save face, that kind of thing. Like, again, this is an international case. It's on national news and stuff. This is everywhere. The university is taking a lot of flack for it, and the police chief, you know, he's a political figure. He's taking a shit ton of flack. They want results. They don't have jack shit on anything. They don't know where she is.
What do you think happened?
What do I think happened? Oh, I think she's dead. It's been over 2 weeks. You got like 24 or 48 hours to find a missing person, and if you don't find them, the chances of them being alive is like 1%. It's something really low.
I think she's just like search the car which took.
This is an old one.
Really bad English.
This is an old one. Yeah, that's one of the ones the Chinese students made, or the Chinese community made before the official ones were released. Yeah, it's political, and even just like pinning it on someone politically would be the best thing they could do for now, right?
Over in this neighborhood even.
Oh, it's everywhere. Yeah, those are everywhere. They're all over town. And like, her family came like a week ago. Did you know that? Yeah, her family flew from China. They raised a Kickstarter fund or whatever, GoFundMe, raised like $70,000 for them. They got like one-way tickets from China on like a day's notice. Came here, not working. Yeah, it's they need to find her, or they need to find the person who did it. And if they don't, politically, I'm worried for myself. Unfortunately,
Politically.
they want to save face. They want to be successful in such a high-profile case like this. So, if they don't find anything, let's say in the next 2 weeks, what happens?
Well, they don't have anything on anybody.
Well, I'm not the person who saw her.
Go back home. Hi, buddy. Okay. He's really cute. Come here. Come on.
Here. Santa. What? Cookie. Cookie. Come on.
it was really cute.
Yeah.
That dog was really cute. I spotted it.
But, yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, they don't know anything, but I was the person saw her. I mean, there's a reason that they thought that I was some suspect, right? Because it looked suspicious. And, like, logically, like, I understood why they suspected me, you know? And from, like, an outsider point of view, let's say you just read, like, a 2-paragraph blurb on everything that happens, like, of course it, you know? Like, that kind of thing. So, I don't think it would raise much suspicions if they tried to. And at this point, like, a lot of people are kind of up with, like, the Chinese community here, the international student community.
Like, what would happen if anybody found out that it was you? That, like, wouldn't people, like, you wouldn't be safe.
No, I wouldn't be.
That worries me.
Well, I'm not going to release that.
You'd have to be in, like, the witness protection program or something. Maybe they'd move you to, like, a really crazy town.
So, I personally think that they should give us some kind of replacement car at this point.
Oh, I forgot I had my collar on. Oops.
Can you turn around? What kind of car? Just want to make sure we can get back home when we actually want to without walking like a mile extra. If you want to keep walking.
Yeah.
That's university.
Direction. I don't know where I am, but...
Well, okay, that's university. It's Lynn. We haven't gotten to, like, state or something, so we're not that far down.
I mean, I've walked from the bus station home before.
Mm-hmm. I really want to eat, but...
What do you want to eat?
I don't know.
Is Michelle out on a date?
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Wow. I wish I wasn't working Thursday.
I go to Lili Walk, personally. It's a good amount of food.
I can't even go somewhere with a dog.
Okay,
I mean, I could get my own dog.
honestly, you really gotta figure this out with him. Like, this is... Okay, like, I'm patient and trying to respect boundaries, but this is getting a little ridiculous. Because not being open to the house, I got that right away, but this is getting a little ridiculous, you know? Like, I can't even drive you places. Like, I don't even understand why everything had to reset.
No, it was just, I guess because, like, the feds knocked on the door and everyone got scared.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Like, yeah, it's just, it doesn't make any sense to me, and I am trying to be patient with everything, obviously, but I'm getting...
just don't fight with anybody.
Yeah. I'm getting a little annoyed with it because, like, we can't do anything, you know? Like, I can't even use the bathroom in your place. You can't come to my place. It's a little extreme. And I don't think I can do anything about it. You okay? Sorry, sweetie. Looks like that pain. Oh, it's just weird. Actually, probably. Sorry, I'm just emotional and moody and needy. My mind has been all over the place. I keep having ups and downs, and I want things to go back to normal. Nothing is normal right now. So I just want my shit back.
Probably died.
And then text Michelle and see. Yeah.
Is she worried about you?
Yeah. For sure. It's such a good situation. I know I'm in a worse situation than everyone, but I sympathize with everything people have been saying. I sympathize with everyone else. The thing I would mention, I care more about you and her than my own well-being right now. I really do. And I will do everything in my power to make sure both of you are comfortable. Okay? I know my need is the greatest, but I think really, I think I'm probably the strongest emotion out of you of us. But I still have my ups and downs.
I don't know. I think I'm just a little bit overwhelmed because I don't even know what to say. Like, I just do what people tell me. Like, people tell me different things. I don't know what to do.
I'm so positive you asked me to be the first person.
No, I did.
Hmm?
No, I did that one day. I think it's because Michelle mentioned it. If she hadn't said anything, I would have been thinking it was her.
They're wily. They will.
I mean, how else would they? I mean, I guess on your phone, that's the other
I
thing.
told them about the open relationship, so maybe through that. But yeah, yeah. And at the end of the first minute, they had Michelle told me they had her convinced that I do. Just don't say anything. They really will. Like,
I think I'm like, I've really thought about that, the fact that they could like try and manipulate Michelle or something.
oh, for sure. I mean, just think about everything they've done so far, like with my car. They've known about the car for 2 weeks. They've known the owner that they had me on video. I told them that was mine. I told them where I got that and everything, right? They didn't tell the public about it until today at 3:34. It's like, that is like really manipulative of the public, and really manipulative of Michelle in particular, right? Like, it's really shitty towards us. Because this directly affects our lives. Like, I remember they got in seriously looking for that car. It's like, if they would have come out right away and just said the car was inflated or whatever, we know about the car, like, it wouldn't be like that. Most people would have forgotten about it. But now everyone's directly looking for our type of car with that color and stuff. It's like, it's really manipulative, really shitty, and really, I understand why they did it. The needs of a missing girl is greater than the convenience of Michelle and I, but it does tell you how they're doing things. Yeah.
I want them to give you your stuff.
I do. Forget about all this. Like, I'm pretty good at kind of ignoring things, shitty things going on in my life if I have my escapes. Alcohol, my computer, music, that kind of stuff. But lately, it's been tough because I drank once. I have a TV, but my computer access is horrible. Yeah. I really like to know that eventually. The more time we have to actually do that, more optimistic I am. But, again, there are ups and downs. Started out this morning really shitty. Had a pretty good day, actually. Boring. And then, Michelle texted me all that stuff. Got pretty shitty again for that now. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, a little overwhelmed in a weird way.
It's a lot of info, and like I told you, I summed up like 2 weeks. Like half hour. I had a long time to process.
I'll probably need to process more. Like, I'm not. If I need to talk to the only person I can talk to about anything, I'm trying to be calm and just hold all of it in and just be the only person I can talk to. And I don't want to upset you by bringing things up, but if I need to talk to you, you're the only person that I can talk to.
I want to. Okay? I'm happy to help you.
I don't want you to feel like I'm being selfish or...
No. I don't feel like that at all. I won't. Okay? I want you to talk to me if you want to.
Makeup remover. I'm just trying on makeup remover.
Start walking.
You see my toes?
What did? You match your nails?
Just trying to do that. If you throw stuff on those rugs, they'll come out and attack it.
Across the street, walk on the other side.
They might be old. We have some in the basement that if you throw stuff on, they'll come out and attack it and then they'll run back and hide.